What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Nyla Monroe, and baby, it's time for a reality check, okay? Now listen, I've been watching, I've been observing, and I got a lot to say. Now, before we get into anything, this is my first ever video, and I would love for you guys to like, share, subscribe, and comment below to prove to the algorithm this is the place to be. All right, now over here, we clock T, we connect the dots, and we call it exactly how it looks. No edits, no excuses. So if you sensitive, you might not like me, and that's okay with me. Because this is real commentary, real opinions, and yeah, some of y'all not gonna agree. But one thing about me, I'm gonna stand on what I said, and I'm gonna call it how it is. Now, let's talk about this Baddies USA Chapter 2 cast, because I'm not gonna lie. Some of these choices, I'm already side-eyeing, but at the same time, I feel like this might actually be one of the most strategic and chaotic casts they've put together in a minute, all right? Now, let's go ahead and get into it. Starting with the CEO herself, Natalie Nunn. Now, I will say this. Natalie actually did her thing last season, okay? She stepped back, especially after her security guard passed. You know what I'm saying? And it gave more CEO energy. It was given executive. It was given, I run this, I don't need to prove it, you know? She let the girls carry the chaos, which is exactly what she should be doing, okay? Because let's be honest, people always say she needs to pick a side, CEO or cast member, but Natalie has always made it clear that she's both. It always gave that. But this last season, she leaned more into that boss role, and it worked. So yes, of course she's back. This is her show. Rolly, I expected her to come back. I mean, she's back every season, no matter how many times she says she won't be back, okay? Honestly, though, I used to think that she had leader potential. I really did. But the more that I watch her, the more it's giving performative leadership. Like, you don't actually lead. You just want to be seen as the one in charge. Because when she had the opportunity, she didn't have control. The house was still messy. She was still in drama, still stirring shit up. And it just didn't give what she thought it did. And let's not ignore the fake tension between her and Natalie. Y'all been quote unquote about to fight for how many seasons now? Please, at this point, it's giving planned, like a storyline that y'all both agreed on to keep people talking. Shit, I'm even side-eyeing that reunion fight y'all just had. Now, Biggie. I'm gonna be honest. Biggie could have been left off bad and bougie, all right? I mean, she entertaining. I'll give her that. Personality, cool. Commentary, funny sometimes. But when it comes to actually standing on anything, she folds. And you can't just be instigating, egging shit on, and then get scary when it's your turn. That's not how it works. Like, that whole situation with Big Lex at the reunion, girl, you already knew y'all had issues. So why are you sitting there complimenting her like that was gonna save you? Be so fucking for real. Like, did you forget the whole live situation where you conveniently, quote unquote, caught Natalie and Lex talking about Summer? I'm sorry. Shit. That even felt staged. Like, y'all knew exactly what was going on and played into it for a storyline. Like, I know for a fact that they set it up to where Natalie and Lex is in the bathroom talking about Summer on purpose, and Biggie just happened to be on live and she walked in on the conversation, and that's why she stood there letting it just go on. Like, bitch, that was done on purpose to create a storyline. Like I said, I don't care what nobody say. Zeus, they be scripting they shit. Like, I don't care if there's not a word for word script. They set up these situations so that storylines can build. You know what I'm saying? Even when they not filming, they are setting up storylines for the next season. Period. That's just what it is. Now, I mean, I'm not mad that Biggie's here, but it's just like, you just signed to Zeus with your music and all of that. Like, why don't you just pursue that and stay off Baddies? Like, why are you here and this is not for you? I feel like you gave everything that you needed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did everything that you could for us, girl. Go ahead and focus on your music. Shit. Now, let's move on to Tasiki, okay? Tasiki is one of those people where it's like she only really comes alive when she's fighting or into it with somebody. But outside of that, she fades into the background. She's boring, and that's been consistent. Every season, same pattern, and that's the issue. You cannot only show up when it's time to fight. This is reality TV, okay? We need personality, presence, something that sticks. Girl, half the time I be forgetting you even there. Shit, she doesn't really even fight like that. So most of the season, she's in the shadows. So I'm actually glad that they brought her ops this season, because now you gotta work. You can't just coast, baby, okay? Now, they got the girls rallied up. So I'm excited to see how this season plays out, especially when it comes to Tasiki. And you know what I'm saying? Give us some more personality, girl. That's all we asking. Like, and yes, she's one of those girls where she's not finna really fight for no reason. So like, she barely fights. And I'm not saying you need to fight for no reason, but you know what I mean? Sometimes there be storylines that she can feed into and she just doesn't. Or like, you don't even have to fight the whole time, but at least give us your personality, like outside of you getting ready to fight or afterwards, like when you turn into that demon and shit. Like, bitch, give us something else. Now, Mariah Lynn, why are you here? I'm sorry, but it's always like, it feels like she's forcing relevance. Like, she always trying to attach herself to somebody else's situation, always trying to form alliances, always volunteering to fight somebody else's battle. Oh, I'll fight her for you. Girl, for who? You don't even know these people like that to be fighting their battles. It gives desperate to be seen. Like, they really could have left her off too. Next, Diamond the Body. I actually like Diamond. She's funny, she's pretty, she can dance, she brings personality. She's great TV, okay? Like, she checks a lot of the boxes. My only thing is, she gotta chill on a drinking, okay? Because when she's too lit, it messes up her performance. You slurring your words, losing fights. It's just not a good look. She's not the best fighter, but she's not the worst either. So if she can stay sober, she could really be a standout. But if not, she's gonna keep fumbling her own spotlight. So I'm glad that she's back, but I hope she has a turnaround this season for sure with the drinking. Now, Summer, girl, where do I even start? Child, first of all, she is annoying as fuck, like deeply annoying, because she does not know how to mind her business. Always instigating and always in somebody else's business. And I used to like her when she first came on. She was fresh, she was entertaining, and she had personality. But then it turned into doing too much. And then what really got me was that Emmett Till comment. Yeah, no. That alone was enough for me. The security situation, I feel like that was karma for speaking on an innocent boy's disfigured face, and now yours is permanently disfigured, and you're alive. I don't agree with who did it, but life will show you what goes around comes back around, okay? And then expecting her friends to fight her battles, that's where it was like, girl, please, because you talking crazy when it comes to the Tasiki and Krishan situation, but you don't want to stand on it by yourself. So when Lex didn't jump in with Tasiki, now you mad. Girl, no, you said what you said. Now handle that. And the whole situation with her exposing shit about Lex, that was messy and unnecessary. Like, you don't do no weird shit like that. That's weird. But I honestly feel like Dolly is the one who brought up that situation, honestly. So, but anyway, yeah, Summer, she's chaotic, she's messy, and she's exhausting. I wish I didn't have to see her on my TV screen ever again, but it's all good. I'll live, shit. Okay, now Big Lex, that's my girl, okay? I don't care, because one thing about Lex, she stands on business. Now, yes, she did come in picking at old situations to create a storyline back on Midwest, but let's be honest, most of the newbies did that on that season. I know y'all remember what Emma said about Scotty. That just ain't turned out too good for her. But y'all know production helps these girls with storylines. That's their job. That's how you secure your spot. But what separates Lex is she backs it up. She not just talking. She's beating hoes' asses. She's present. She's consistent. And I mean, she is a little boring outside of the fighting. I will say that, I'll be honest about that. But like, even with the whole big three situation, she still moved with some level of principle, because she didn't just jump people for no reason. She let fights be fights. She only jumped in when someone jumped in her friends' fights, okay? And when it came to Summer, she never defended the stupidity. That's real, and that's why I respect her, because she's not about to crash out just because you her friend. So yeah, Lex deserves her spot, period. Dolly, I just don't trust her. She's inconsistent, she's selective, and she moves funny as hell, especially when it comes to Lex. It's like she low-key has an issue with her, but won't fully say it. And the way she stole Summer whole personality last season is so crazy to me, using her catchphrases and all type of shit. Like, girl, please. They really could have left her off Bad and Bougie as well, but I mean, I'm not mad that she there. It's whatever. Okay, now Tinkerbella, she looks good, you know, body is tea. People judged her for coming back after having a baby, but let's be real, she handled that way better than others. One thing I don't like is how y'all spoke on her coming back after just having her child, but y'all sat there and didn't say anything while Scotty was on the show during her pregnancy and in the midst of the chaos. Tinka left, had her child, and then came back, so I can respect that. But honestly, she doesn't really move the storyline, and I don't see significance in her being here. She served her purpose, and I think they should have just left her off this season as well. Tavy, I really don't care for. She gives crash out energy, and honestly, it just gives, she wants to belong. That's really what it comes down to. Like, every season, she's trying to attach herself to a group, a leader, a moment, instead of standing on her own like someone like Nunu. You know what I mean? She stood on her own the whole season. And, you know, honestly, it makes Tavy come off inauthentic. And it's very obvious. It's not natural. It's forced. Because instead of just being herself, she's trying to fit into whoever accepts her at that time. And that just never works long term. I would rather not see her on my screen, but it's cool. You know, I'm interested in what's to come. Killer, called Killer. Now, this is a baddie, okay? She checks every single box: personality, music, presence, fight energy, viral moments. She literally always has a viral sound somewhere floating around TikTok. So, you know what I'm saying? She's a baddie. She's the definition of what the show represents. And so I have no complaints. I'm happy to see Killer back on my screen. Fauna, I'd rather not get another season with Fauna on it. She's just messy and always inserting herself into someone else's business. Like, she gives Scotty energy, but with action, meaning she talks, but she'll also fight. And I could respect that, because if you're gonna be in other people's business, stand on it. And she does. So I'd rather have her than someone who just talks and hides, okay? K-Rican, I'm glad she's back, but I'm watching closely because everything going on with her outside the show is concerning. Like, her family exposing her, and the way her aunt said she was the quote-unquote lawyer production spoke to in order for K-Rican to leave Africa early, meaning she did not actually have court. I don't know. It's just a lot. So I'm hoping she comes in grounded and mentally prepared, because if not, this can go left quick. And girl, please just learn how to fight. Please. Now, that is all for the returning cast. Let's get into the special appearances. We have Tommy Lee. Of course, she's back. I feel like she's going to come back every season. They're going to bring her back because she brings the chaos. She brings those viral moments. She always got something up her sleeve, child. And she always makes the most iconic entrances. So, love Tommy down, but child, I really don't care to see her anymore. But it's like, whatever. They're gonna bring her back every single time. Now, Stunner Girl. This is what confuses me. Like, I love Stunner Girl, and I'm happy she back, shit. But it's just like, how do you expose Zeus, expose Lemmy, Scotty, Janisha, and even the damn production team, put all that business out, and still get invited back? That alone makes me feel like a lot of this is more calculated than people think. And maybe that tea she spilled was exactly what Lemmy asked her to. Okay? Are you with me? Okay, now we knew they was gonna bring Ciroc back, okay? If you didn't know that, you're crazy. She definitely made her little mark or whatever when she had that situation with Biggie, but I feel like that was all set up as well. It was staged, because why is Biggie coming in on her own when her friends literally said that she drove there with them? and they're making it seem like, oh, just giving Biggie her moment, you know, letting her do her big one, whatever. No, that was obviously a setup, and y'all did that on purpose just so this girl could come back for the next season. I'm sure they already were in cahoots with this girl, and the way that Tommy brought up how she was in the streets and that's how she found her and whatever was going on with her baby daddy. Why are you putting this girl business out there? Like, that's crazy. And it just makes me feel like, you know, that's just the storyline they wanted it to be, because why would you say that? That's embarrassing for you to just say that. And then you talk about, because I'm a real bitch, that's why I brought her in. No, bitch, you're not real for that, because if you was a real bitch, you wouldn't have put her business out there. And that's why I just feel like everything is just a strategic move, and that's the only reason why she said that. And that's the only reason why Ciarac is going to be back, is because everything was set in play. Okay, so, I mean, I don't mind seeing her. I don't really care for her, but I do want to see what she's going to bring. She definitely gives crash out energy and like she just gonna do whatever, child. Now, Brorilla, I feel like she's gonna bring the comedy, child. Like, I love her whole little vibe or whatever, and I feel like even the situation with Glorilla, that feels like a stage situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure Glorilla takes care of her family and even her sister, and it was only like, it was their plan for the sister to come out and do all that rah-rah and exposing Glorilla, because then she had all these bookings right afterwards and she just started going up. And it's just like, if people really felt like she did that, I'm sure nobody will really try to be, you know, in cahoots with her and doing business with her, knowing who Glorilla is. And I'm pretty sure a lot of these people are cool with Glorilla. So it's just like, everything is strategic in this industry, child. And I'm going to expose it all. Even if I don't know the facts, you can clearly see through that shit. If you can't, you're stuck in the matrix, okay? And you're exactly who they're aiming for with this fake information. They want people to believe them, and they know the gullible people will. And I'm not calling y'all dumb if you believe anything that be happening in the industry, in the entertainment business, but all I'm saying is wake up. Now, I'm so excited that they are bringing in the Baddies Gone Wild cast, girls, okay? Now, Bahati was my favorite. She is the definition of a baddie as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, the girls were picking on her in the beginning because they knew that she had that aura. She's that bitch. And they wanted to make her feel bad. They wanted to put her down. They wanted to humble her, even though she wasn't even doing too much. You know what I'm saying? But people just want to do that when they have that jealous or envious spirit about them, you know? So I really do feel like she stood on her 10. She fought Daisy. She fought whoever needed that. Whoever had an issue with her, she had that too. Like, she got that. And it's just like, I applaud her for that. And I respect her because she stand on her business regardless. And, you know, the whole thing with her having to shave her head, I feel like that was a powerful move. And, you know, I cannot wait to see what Bahati does on this season. I'm so excited to see Bahati. Now, Daisy, I really cannot stand Daisy, but I know that it's necessary to have her on here. She was the bully of Baddies Gone Wild. You know, she was the leader in the house, so I understand, and it's whatever, but, I'm just like, but I do want her to get that issue with Rolly, like, actually get it in, so I'm ready to see that for sure. TT, child, she's performative. She's a follower, like, they could have really left her off of this too. All she gonna do is follow Daisy or whoever else she come close with in the house, child. I really could have done without her, but it's whatever. And same thing about Hurricane M, child. They could have kept her. Why the fuck they bring her? They could have brought Shay or some fucking body else, somebody who deserves it. I just don't understand what they did with these two, but it's like, whatever. Miss Wet Wet, never dry because I stay wet. Don't fucking play with her. Yes, they got the Joselyn Cabaret girls on here. Miss Wet Wet, yeah, she's gonna bring that comedy. She's gonna be so funny and entertaining. Yes, child. And then they got Showgirl Neek. Child, I feel like they got all the girls that stood up to Joselyn. Is Lemmy beefing with Joselyn right now? Is there not going to be another season of Joselyn's Cabaret? Or does he already know that she's not doing another season? So he's like, fuck it. I'm going to bring back the girls that she don't really fuck with. Like, he brought back all the girls that stood up to her in some way. Now, showgirl Neek, she was one of my favorites because she stood up to Joselyn. She didn't give a fuck. There was back and forth between her and Joselyn, and most of the girls were scared to do that shit. And she gave leader. Like, you know, a lot of the girls couldn't take her. You know, her energy is loud. It's like she's cocky, she's confident, she knows that she's that girl. And so some people cannot take that, you know what I'm saying? But I really do love Neek. I am excited to watch her on my screen again, child. I thought I was never going to see her again because Joselyn did not want her on her shit no more. Egypt, I really don't care for. I mean, she was a heavy hitter on the Cabaret, but it's just like, I don't know. And then I just really don't care for her. But she also had that chance to fight Tasiki on the Bad vs. Wild segment or whatever, and she was hiding and shit. So I'm just like, I don't really like care for Egypt though. I mean, I don't really care to see her on my screen. Miss Kanaya, she is a baddie, okay? I can't wait to see her and what she does, you know what I'm saying? She's talented, beautiful, and body is tea, okay? And, you know, she kind of had the envious spirits is crazy. Envious spirits. The envious spirits popping out on Joselyn's Cabaret. Like, she had the girls, you know, being weird. And I know that they was giving that weird energy off camera and saying little slick shit to her, just like she was saying, because she not making that shit up. She does carry herself as a woman, and you know what I mean? Like, some girls just cannot take energy like that. I'm excited to see Kanaya though. Can't wait to see what she brings to the Baddies Chapter 2 season. Amber Ali, okay, yeah, I honestly don't remember her too much, but I do remember she was one of the first girls to stand up to Joselyn, okay? And when she did the whole mockery of Joselyn's studio session that went viral when she was on drugs and shit, that was a key, you know what I'm saying? She did that at the reunion and it was so funny. So I don't know, I'm intrigued, I should say, to see what she's gonna do on this season. I know that she does be online talking shit, so she finna have to stand on some. Okay, now we're done with the Cabaret girls. Now we are on to the Now That's Zeus girls. They are funny for that. The girls from Now That's TV are on this season, okay? So we have Ivory first. I'm excited to see Ivory. She definitely needs to get that with Stunner Girl. I don't know if I mentioned that when I was talking about Stunner Girl, but Ivory definitely needs that. She needs that for shit sure. Because they say that Stunner Girl jumped Ivory, and it's just like, honestly, I feel like that was a setup as well. Like, that was fake. You know what I'm saying? It just felt staged and just like it was to build a storyline, and that's just what it is. But I know Ivory's gonna give this season. I really didn't like Ivory when she first came on Midwest, because she was giving bully and trying to make her mark as like the leader of the newbies, and it was just like, girl, please, like just, you know, be yourself, because you don't have to do all that. But I mean, I didn't watch her on Now That's TV. Y'all say she was worse on there and she watered it down for Zeus, so I don't know, but she was doing too much for me. I don't like that type of energy, child. But I mean, she did grow on me after a while. Like on Africa, I started to like her, and you know, it's like she switched it up for that season. So, you know what I'm saying? She grew on me. Scarface, I don't really care to see her on my screen again, but I mean, it's whatever. Pressure, I don't really know her like that, because like I said, I didn't really watch Now That's TV. but I am excited to see what she brings. I know that she did have a fight with Tavy at the Baddies Gone Wild auditions, and so I'm sure they're going to get that in again. And I think she has an issue with Ivory and Stunner Girl and stuff like that. These girls be on the internet talking, girl. I'm just now catching up onto all of the tea because I'm about to be pushing these videos out for y'all. But I really do not know these girls from Now That's TV, but I'm about to get acquainted, okay? Now, they also got the BGC girls on here, only 2, and honestly, my least anticipated is like, why? Persuasion is just like, I don't really care for her. She the one that Krishan had washed up in the sink, girl. And, you know, that's all I really know, because after that, she started talking about how, or I don't know if it was before, but she started talking about how she effed Blueface and stuff like that. Like, ew, why are you happy about that? You're proud? Congratulations, the fuck. But yeah, and so I don't know anything about her after that, and I do know that her and Summer had an issue. They got to fight and she beat Summer up, okay? But I really don't care to see her again. Camila, girl, it's time for you to stand on that shit. Now, you back, baby. And I don't want to hear none of them, please, you like to cop, or none of that. I don't want to hear none of it. You've been talking shit about everybody online. And the fact that you've been talking about Lex and you don't even know this girl for real, Lex finna give you an ass whooping that you ain't never had in your life. And I just can't wait. I just cannot. I can't wait. And child, please, whatever. I really don't care to see her on my screen regardless, but since she been talking all that talk, let my fave get her. And then they have 2 Baddie Tour DJs this time, officially casted. And girl, I don't know why they keep bringing DJ Sky High back. Baby, please stop coming back, because you want to be a part of the cast so bad, and then you don't want to defend yourself. You're scary as hell. You're irritating. Like, she be irritating me because you're not standing up for yourself at all. Like, even Scotty stand up for herself more than this girl, and that says a lot, because Scotty do not stand up for herself. It's just like, why do you keep coming back and allowing them to treat you this way? Because I don't like how they had DJ Ari come in and you thought she was your friend, but you started, oh, my friend, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here. And she's like, yeah, it's a new sheriff in town. Yeah, she's here to take your spot, babes. Like, why are you being so friendly? The fuck? That was so embarrassing. That whole little interaction was so embarrassing. DJ Blue Diamond, she's beautiful. I don't really know what to expect. They probably gonna have a little storyline between the DJs. Hopefully this one is a little bit more entertaining, because even DJ Ari wasn't entertaining enough for me. So, you know, if y'all gonna be a part of the cast, baby, and not just behind the DJ booth, I'm gonna need y'all to give some personality, something. Y'all don't even gotta fight, but just, you know, do something. Now, overall, this cast is chaotic, layered, and full of personalities. Some people I obviously feel like could have been left off, but I also see what they're trying to do. There's always those cast members who are bland and are just filling in space, plus the annoying ones we don't care for. So either way, they're building storylines, they're mixing personalities, they're creating moments before the season even starts. And whether it's real or not, we're gonna be watching, okay? We're gonna be clocking all day motherfucking tick. So yeah, that's my full breakdown. Y'all already know what to do. Drop your opinions, because I know y'all got something to say. And trust me, this season, we gonna be clocking every single thing. Make sure y'all like the video and subscribe, because one thing we're gonna do is get into the tea, baby.